Hi, welcome back to day 3 of Eddie's Bad Time Story. As you can see here, we're going to dive right into this book, and you should know that each chapter is devoted to Molly and Kate. They are sisters. Molly's son is Charles, our little anti-hero, and Kate is his aunt. When we start off the book, we start with Kate. Let's dive right in, shall we? We are not here to decide our fates, merely our nomenclatures, defilers of small children, faithful lovers, lunatics, heretics, innocents. Our fates are quite sealed, my sisters and mine. We shall spend the remaining years we have sitting here in our Father's house, shuffling our guilts and regrets like cards in an endless game of solitaire. Metaphor number 1. Others will follow, I assure you. But I will try, for your sake, to avoid my usual metaphoric self-indulgence. I have always been attracted to gentle, dangerous men. An odd combination, I know, the fist that might strike but opens to stroke, the painless rape. How I loved it, how I missed it, and how I thank God when I found it again. But I'm ahead of myself. I first saw Alan at an off-Broadway audition. There in the midst of the cattle call was the most beautiful man I'd ever estrogenized over. I tossed my auburn locks till near dizzy to attract his attention, but his eyes wouldn't leave his script. I mused on their color, the blue of late June skies, surely. No, blue-green with brown specks, like autumn leaves floating in a pool. Excuse the hyperbole. I was young, excessively romantic, and hadn't been to bed with anyone in weeks. I can't imagine why not. It certainly wasn't like me. Well, between tossing my head, clearing my throat, and humming like a banshee, I finally managed to catch his eye. I'm sure he thought I was suffering from Parkinson's disease, but he smiled at me nonetheless. And then, with the door open, I swooped down on him like a 747 landing on a doorstep. My poor Alan didn't have a chance. He was bound, gagged, and with muffled screams led to a coffee shop near the theater. Has anyone out there in this ancient amphitheater ever consumed 14 cups of coffee at a sitting? The effect was double. My bladder assumed the proportions of the Goodyear blimp, and I was in love with Alan. No, not love. In obsession. I was virginal, once again, untried, trembling, frightened, desperately in need of being touched, and he touched me. I thank Apollo for that. That night, in his horrendous apartment, he touched me until I thought I'd faint and wake up reciting the Decameron. I was not there when he died. Alan died alone, sliding in his own blood toward Molly, who lay unconscious near him. I want you to know about his death. Tell him about his death, Molly, please. Molly. All right, but before I do, I want to tell you something. Kate's the romantic, not me. I don't believe in curses, ancient Greeks, or any of that crap. I believe what happened, happened. I'll be damned if I know how, but I sure as hell am not going to go metaphysical over it. There's another thing you should know. I love my sister. If I didn't, I swear there was a time I would have ripped her heart out, and let me tell you, I'm just the cookie who could do it. So now you know who the romantic is and who the slob is. It happened a few months ago on Charles' 10th birthday. Kate was taking him out for the day. Christ, all I heard all morning was, "What time is it? When's Aunt Kate getting here? Is she taking me to a show?" He was in a sweat, like he always got when Kate showed up. So anyway, Kate and Alan got to the apartment around noon. She told Charles she was taking him to a magic show. He ran up and down the walls the way he does, the way he used to, and they left. I had a sculpture I had to get out to a gallery in Nyack, and I conned Alan into driving me. It was on the way back on the West Side Highway that it happened. I don't know whether it was our fault, the other guy's fault. It all happened too fast. All I remember was suddenly seeing this car nose to nose with us. I could see the expression of the woman behind the wheel. It was almost funny. Like she was saying, "What the hell are you doing right in front of me facing the wrong way?" I heard the sound of the impact, though I didn't feel it. I must have stayed conscious for a moment because I saw Alan break through the windshield. I saw a piece of glass go into his throat, and that's that. The next thing I remember was waking up in the hospital with more broken bones than unbroken, a face like ground round, and a body pumped full of morphine. As I look back on it, it was the best I've felt in months. And reading this book is the best I've felt in months. I hope you agree and stick around for more of the next.